All right, guys, day 10 of Green Bay Packers training camp is here. This is the first practice back after family night on Saturday. So, of course, I have some highlights from the warm-ups to react to and break down and kind of go over practice a little bit. I'll do a deeper dive after practice finishes, going over the main takeaways and notes. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. So if you are a new viewer to this channel, go down, click subscribe, turn on post notifications to not miss any of the content that does come out on this channel. We release highlights, recaps, notes from every single day of Green Bay Packers training camp, so you'll never miss what's going on at camp for the Packers. Then, of course, heading into the season, doing reactions and breakdowns of games, injury updates, all of that here on this channel. Go down and click subscribe. All right, guys, so let's dive right into the highlights we have from day 10 of Green Bay Packers training camp. Bringing up the screen, the first clip is tight end Tucker Kraft hitting the blocking sled here. Tucker Kraft has officially returned to practice. We're all waiting for this. Through OTAs and minicamp, we're all sitting here going, okay, hopefully he returns by the start of training camp. Now, it took 10 practices for him to return, but he finally is back. I said this last week. I didn't expect him to return for family night. I pretty much said, hey, I expect him to return the practice after family night on Tuesday, and that's exactly when Tucker Kraft returned. Here's a clip of Tucker Kraft catching a hitch route from Jordan Love. He looks good out there. Obviously, the injury was his pectoral injury, so that's seemingly all good for Tucker Kraft. You also see Tyler Davis kind of running a crosser route and catching a ball from, I believe it's Sean Clifford. No, it's Michael Pratt throwing the ball to Tyler Davis there. But it's nice to get Tucker Kraft back out on the practice field. We've been missing this guy. Not that the tight end room's been bad. Actually, I thought Tyler Davis and Ben Sims have really stepped up in Tucker Kraft's absence. But just adding him to this room, gets to start to build that continuity with Jordan Love that he needs. Having Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft both out there is going to help this offense a ton. They can utilize these guys in so many different ways, from both playing inline in 12 personnel, or putting Tucker Kraft or Luke Musgrave out in the slot, or Luke Musgrave out wide. These tight ends are so versatile. I was so happy with both of those draft selections last year, and I'm seeing a similar thing take shape with the safety room this year, but nonetheless, super excited for Tucker Kraft to be back. Here's another clip of two tight ends. We have Tucker Kraft kind of running a quick out route thrown by Jordan Love, and then you also see Ben Sims catching a ball from Sean Clifford. Like I said, I've been very impressed with the two other tight ends not named Musgrave and Kraft, with Ben Sims and Tyler Davis, and in my opinion, they're both locks to make this roster. Tyler Davis has been playing a lot of H-back in the first team and has been blocking very well in practice. Like, a lot of the large runs or the bigger runs, they've been sprung by a Tyler Davis block, and the Packers cutting Henry Pearson kind of shows that, hey, Tyler Davis can kind of take that role, take that, what we called it, the DeGuara role from last year, even though DeGuara really didn't have a role, but we all kind of called it that. I think Tyler Davis can take that role, but so can Tucker Kraft. So maybe we'll start to see Tucker Kraft as that H-back type of role in the first team offense now that he's back in practice. It'll be interesting to see how much or how little we see Tyler Davis and Ben Sims now that Tucker Kraft is back. Another player that is back in practice is Josh Jacobs. He's missed the last two practices, including family night. I believe it was a groin injury. Now, after the first missed practice, he pretty much went on to say it's something minor, it's precautionary. If there was a game on that day, he would have played. And that's clearly shown here, considering he's back at practice and practicing in full. It wasn't just individuals for Josh Jacobs. He practiced in full, and actually his first rep in teams, he ran for a big gain. So Josh Jacobs is officially back. And a little bit of a news update this morning. The Packers are expecting to play pretty much every starter, at least for a little bit, in the first preseason game this Saturday against the Browns, which I think is awesome. And Matt LaFleur basically chalked it up to, hey, it helps knock off the rust. It helped last year going into week one, obviously, handily beating the Chicago Bears. Getting your starters some reps in preseason, I've always been a fan of. Obviously, we don't want a Jordy Nelson situation to happen, but it's the risk you take, and getting these guys meaningful 100% live reps is very important, because you don't really go fully live in practice, especially for defenders, right? When you watch practices or you watch family night, there's only a tiny, tiny bit of live tackling during family night, but not much of it. In the preseason, there's full live tackling, and you need these guys to get these reps. The offensive linemen to get live blocking reps, the defenders to get live tackling reps, being able to come downhill and actually hit someone. without worrying about injuring someone on your offense, right? I think it's important. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with playing starters in the preseason. Jordan Love is going to play this Saturday. My guess is it'll be a drive or two, and that's it. And I'm completely fine with that. I want to see Josh Jacobs suit up. I want to see him play. I want to see all the new players suit up and actually play. I don't feel like waiting to week 1 against Philadelphia. I want these guys to get the reps they need. Here's a clip of cornerback number 1, Jaire Alexander, working on a defensive back drill here. I'm excited for these cornerbacks as well. I'm hoping Carrington Valentine can come back sooner rather than later. It's much needed depth in that cornerback room because as of right now, next man up after Eric Stokes would probably be Corey Ballantyne, which he can definitely fill in when needed. Who knows if they would try to push Keyshawn Nixon to the outside and then bring Kalen King in the slot. I'd rather just see Corey Ballantyne out there. Every rep we've seen Keyshawn Nixon out wide, he's kind of gotten beat, so I think he needs to remain in the slot, and that's kind of the only spot he could potentially play on defense, which I still think he gets replaced by Javon Bullard eventually, or even someone like Kalen King, who has some decent reps in the slot as well. But I'm very excited for 2024 for Jaire Alexander. I think all the stuff is in the past from him getting suspended, going out there as a captain when he wasn't supposed to. I think that's all in the past, and I think Jaire's completely bought into this team, bought into this new defense under Jeff Hafley, who's a defensive back coach who I think, is helping these defensive backs a ton. I think they like this new defensive approach a lot better, it being a defensive back coach. I think it's going to help them a ton. It's going to allow them to play their game, and this defense is going to be a lot more aggressive when it comes to coverage, which is what we want to see, but we don't want to see the aggression too much where the Packers are getting beat deep all the time. Here's a clip of all the defenders doing a knock the football out type of drill. Unfortunately, I don't have any 11v11 footage as of right now for this practice. If I do get my hands on some, don't worry, I'll be releasing it on here as well as over on my Twitter. So definitely go follow me on Twitter as well. Any unreleased clips that you don't see on here, you'll see on my Twitter. So it's definitely worth it to go follow me over there as well. But if I get sent 1v1s or 11v11s, don't worry, I'll make a video about it. I'm pretty certain I'll have them from tomorrow's practice, so definitely stay tuned. And like I said, turn on post notifications so you won't miss tomorrow's video. Here's a backpedal drill for the defensive backs. I believe it's Javon Bullard on the left. Guys, let me know who your number 2 safety is for the 2024 season. Like at the end of 2024, next to Xavier McKinney, who is that guy going to be? Or who's going to record the most snaps and have the most stats? In my opinion, it's going to be Javon Bullard. But I wouldn't be mad if someone said Evan Williams. This guy has came onto the scene as a 4th rounder and has been very, very impressive. And if they start to put Javon Bullard more into the nickel, into the slot for Keyshawn Nixon, then the next safety up probably would be Evan Williams. So that very well could happen. I still really am wanting to see Katana Ladapo. Haven't heard much of him since returning to practice. I'm hoping he's going to start to see some snaps. Like I said, it was going to be a tall hill for him to climb, being injured since the draft, really just getting on the practice field now, and an even harder hill to climb, the fact that Javon Bullard and Evan Williams, and Anthony Johnson Jr. for that matter, have been so impressive. Let me know down in the comments who you think the number 1 safety is going to be at the end of the year outside of Xavier McKinney and what their stat line is going to look like. Let me know down below. So those are all the highlights I have from day 10 of Green Bay Packers training camp. Again, like I said, if I receive any 11v11s or 1v1s, just be on the lookout for it on this channel as well as my Twitter. Again, the Packers are back at practice for day 11 tomorrow, so I'll also be releasing highlights and a recap for tomorrow's practice, but then they're off for a couple days ahead of their first preseason game Saturday against the Cleveland Browns. I appreciate you guys coming by to the channel. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below. I can't thank you guys enough for the endless support, the views, the likes, the comments, everyone new that is subscribing and everyone who has been subscribed. Again, thank you guys so much. You don't know how much I appreciate it. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.